Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt, and today is Wednesday, June 29th. All right, I want to take a look at SPY here for many reasons. Had a beautiful bounce, but at the same time, I want to see where we're going from the top down, meaning I'm going to start with the monthly chart and work my way down. We're coming into the end of the month now. And you get the distribution happening right now with all this buying coming in the last end of the quarter here. So we want to take a look and see where we are. But nice move from here. We're going to lower this time frame in just a minute here, but I wanted you to take note of a couple of things here. If we do close the month under this, I would expect two more candles or one more candle red, unless we close above this candle here, which is going to be right around. Actually, I'll tell you right here. Um, Looks like 210.69, and that's where the gap is too, or it's going to create a double top at the same time. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So right now you can see a slow stow is turning to the downside, which is a great signal. No real decision here, and your MAC has come up just a little bit here, but you're still in below the minus range. So keep an eye on this. Bringing it down to the weekly. You can see the weekly, what a recovery here after we came down. I thought we were going to hit this lower Bollinger Band, never made it. But we did turn to the upside. You can see the resistance right now is going to be the EMA 8. The EMA 8 to take note of on the weekly is going to be at 206.56, and that's where we are over that right now. But depending on where we close, will be key, and that is 2 days away. So if we close above up at this trend line, it's potentially we could go higher, or we meet this trend line and then we drop from there. So we'll have to see. And just take note that the 195.74 is here for your lower Bollinger Band, and your upper Bollinger Band is going to be 213.61. Your slow stow has recovered just a little bit here, which is great. But you can see your MACD is just about ready to cross that zero line, and these are heading down. So this might not be a full bounce to the upside. We might get something like this. Remember, we have the stress tests in about 30 minutes, 20 minutes now for the banks, jobs tomorrow morning. So a lot of things could play a role in what's going to take place tomorrow. But you can see here, this is now down to the daily. Here's our trend line here. Here's our gap right here. It's at about 209.25 and our trend line here. So if we do typically what we're doing every single day and gapping up and closing this, potentially that could happen here. But I have no idea. But it's been a great move with all this with this buying here, up $8.33 from the low. We do have this gap open and this trend line to keep an eye on. You can see a relative strength index came off of 30 in tags. It's right about midway right now. Could meet some resistance right here. Um, We'll have to see what happens. But your slow stow has moved up, and you're starting to move up with your with your Mac also. But nothing is confirmation when you get over this here. Now drilling it down to the most important for me personally right now is the hourly. The hourly relative strength index has really popped over and got up to 70, 71, 73 today, or something like that, 72 somewhere in that area. But you can see the beautiful candles here. But trying to trade this chop is just about impossible, because when we had our double bottom here, we came back down again and held the bottom. I mean, there was no real conviction to really buy calls for the next day or even go long stock. So then they gapped it up 200 points or whatever this silly number was, and it did nothing all day until the last 2 hours. Last 2 hours, it made a little bit of a move, but nothing convincing. So really waiting, and then it gaps up again 200 on you at 300. So it's really gets challenging here. So the best bet for me personally is just waiting until we get to a top, whether the top is going to be right here or we're into the top now. I do have long puts, so I'm not too worried about it. I did get stopped out of some other stuff, but at this current pace right here, here's your trend line. If this trend line is compromised by any means right here, then we should head lower here at 205.30 is going to be that line in the sand. And if we do break that, then we're going to finish to move to the downside, and your 197.29 is going to be your low side for the Bollinger Band here. You can see a slow stow has started to turn to the downside. You're getting ready to cross here, and your MACD is starting to round to the downside. So it could get interesting tonight and tomorrow morning with the news, and any kind of event that may take place and pull this back down, create some kind of bottom over here, whatever the case may be. But we do have a gap right here that needs to get filled, and we have another gap right here here, but 9 times out of 10, they're just going to gap the market one way or the other. The way they're doing it these days, they're just gap and go, gap and go. Same thing here, gap down, pushed it up, gap down, pushed it up. So it's really it's not a fair market for traders, that's for sure, unless you're really dialed in and have an understanding of what's going to be next. So that's pretty much SPY in a nutshell. I do expect this to retreat. I do not expect it to come up here right away first thing in the morning. If it does hold this area right here, then I do believe that it's going to come up and close this by late in the day or Friday. If not, we're just going to get a full move to test the 203 and then back to the 200 somewhere in that area. But that's the way it's looking to me right now. All right, that's a full reset anyway. All right, this is Matt over at Milestone. Have yourself a fantastic night.